Here comes the money. Here comes the money. Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money.
Well, hello everybody. Episode number 60 of the Death Piles and Taxes show coming right at you. As always, my name is D-Roy, Derek Roy Everett. I am your eBay champion of the world. And across the desk, the man, the myth, the legend, Adam Parumpy Prump Beasley, the man that's going to help you do your taxes and not end up in jail again. Adam Beasley, how are you, my friend?
Man, if I was any better, my name would be Phil.
Phil, that was an awesome episode. I mean, last episode we were live on location. For those of you that missed it, go back and check it out at Venue Sports Cards. And man, Phil just telling about how he took the chance to live the dream and the off the air kind of stuff. I know you recorded some of it, but
Yeah.
Phil's a guy that will just sit there and talk with you, and it's awesome to go visit him. But when he's in front of the microphone, he kind of got a little nervous, a little more reserved than normal, Phil. So the second we turn it off, he tells us
Opens up, man.
how to start off his business. He was sleeping. I don't know if this came across as well as it could there at the end. He was actually sleeping in the at these fairs and stuff that he goes to sell stuff,
Park on the grass.
so that he could sell the cards in the morning, not have to pack up everything, go home, and then his wife would come for an hour. He'd run home and shower and eat and come back and work, and so. From that, he built himself up into a business. So even though it wasn't necessarily online, eBay type related, that's the dedication. And it's hard to have somebody like that tell you something and not hope for that person to succeed. So we're pulling for Phil and all the small business owners out there that listen to Death Piles and Taxes. Whether or not you're selling on eBay or not, hopefully you can gain something from it and get a little motivation. And I know that made me reevaluate how serious am I? I'm not sleeping on the park, going home taking showers in between, a couple hour breaks and back for a 22-hour shift. So hats off to Phil.
I had lunch with Phil today.
Oh, did you?
It was just payday, so I'm like, I'm going to see Phil.
What do you have to tell you?
Well, I had to go over. After the episode, I came home, and again, this is about reselling, about understanding items, getting into something that you like, whether it's wrestling cards. Had a client in here, they sell a lot of pottery
Sure.
on the car, a lot of, another guy I talked with this week about like guitar stuff, guitar amps, those kind of things, but really started getting into this card thing. Like I really started.
It's kind of a hot thing right now. It's getting popular again, and we grew up. 80s and 90s, there was we were into cards even though they're not valuable.
No.
Really. I mean, it kind of got, so now it's kind of that nostalgia factor.
Yeah, but when you were a kid, you were never looking at like, this is an investment,
No, but you're always like, this Kirby Puckett's worth $20,000. Like, you always say just numbers.
Well, Kirby got glaucoma and he lost his left eye, and so now he's worth.
This Roger Meredith card here, you see this? $17,000. Like, you always make up numbers to impress your friends, right?
Pull up the Beckett. Hey, it says it's worth $1.75.
Yeah, so that's cool. So what did you leave with?
Well, first I was hungry, and I never wanted to show up with. That was a sweet.
I'm coming from a family party, so I might need a little boost.
Well, I went and I'm like, you know what? I like Jimmy John's. They don't have anything close. They do in Spanish, which is about 15 minutes away. But man, I need a good pick me up, and that Little John commercial. Little John talking about buying a Little John.
Yeah.
One got me.
Is that what he says? Yeah.
Yeah. So one got me 2 of those. Threw down one for me, one for Phil. And of course, there's people in there. Phil talking to the kids, talking them up, and a gal was like, "Yeah, we just found this place this week, and I think it's our second time in there." And so I said, "Phil, I got me a 40 spot. What should I buy?" So I bought some of the
I'm looking for trouble.
The 1819 Don Russ cards, and my favorite team here. We're Utah Jazz guys. We like, we enjoy them. I've got several of their games, but you know who my second favorite team is?
I think you've always been a good Milwaukee Bucks.
No. It is
New
now-
Orleans Pelicans.
No, it is now the what team is this? Charlotte Bobcats.
Let me see what this says here.
So apparently, we looked these up. My main man, Miles Bridges, my dude,
That's your guy.
my love. I had to look it up. He is from Michigan State, drafted number 12. I pulled a rated rookie. What do they call it? Green spiral thing. But
Oh,
if you notice on it, check out right above it.
I don't know if I dare touch it.
Check
Oh,
it
it's a 3 of 10.
Yes.
Oh, you do need old Miles to produce. That could be worth some money if old Miles becomes any sort of a ball player.
There's only 10 of these cards. It's got the serial numbers imprinted on it. So I am a Miles Bridges man.
You get that sent off. I know we're going hard on the card stuff here, but I heard or read somewhere that PSA is backlogged over 1 million cards. They're trying to catch up. It's gotten so busy and so popular that they're getting back cataloged by quite a bit. So go ahead.
Third favorite player, team, Denver Nuggets. There's this guy named Michael Porter Jr.
I've actually heard of him.
I've heard of him, apparently, but apparently, see, I got a 68 of 99.
Oh, hey, that's a red border too.
Yeah, red borders.
Did you open that at Phil's?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We ripped some wax together.
No, that's good.
Nothing like bonding over ripping some wax.
I mean, back in my day, ripping wax was a whole different problem that you had, but with Adam and the kids nowadays, you want your kids out ripping wax, so.
It was a good time. So, my portfolio, my 401k is in my hand.
Hey,
right
rated
now.
rookies, that's, I mean,
there was one, there was a Miles, Miles Bridges, my
I
man,
about said Miles Davis, the performer.
the Rat Tag.
Yeah.
There was another one for $40, but the best part is nobody's got any of the 3 for 10, so I'm hoping, so when we're ready to send some more cards in, my PSA stuff is ready.
Well, I had a friend of the program, old Michael Benjamin Painter, asking, and I said, we're getting there, so we'll figure it out. Oh, Adam's doing a do 30. I also brought you some pure North Davis Sewer District drinking water for the show. There it is. I had some family members. It was a late Christmas / party type thing, and the family members said, so we saw you have a sticker because we're on the Facebook and stuff. I'm like, yeah. And they're like, what do you do? So that's a podcast. And they said, what's the podcast about? Is it politics or something? I said, oh no, we don't touch that. That would be, nobody wants to go there. We'd lose a lot of people fast. I said, we talk about selling stuff on eBay, like your stuff on eBay. And they looked at me and they said, you've done how many episodes? I said, well, today will be 60. We've done 59. And they're how long? I said, an hour, give or take, a couple hours here and there. All about selling stuff on eBay, huh? There's that much content. I said, well, there was a time where I talked about how I couldn't get dried off at the pool and didn't want to ruin my car. But yeah, pretty much all about eBay. And so we might have new listeners, I don't know.
Hey, if Aunt Marla, was it Aunt Marla?
No, other side of the family, this is Aunt Evelyn.
Aunt Evelyn. Is this the San Pete bunch?
Emery County.
Emery County. Oh, down there by Garfield.
You don't need to know the map, just over yonder.
Over yonder. This is the family, like Cleveland.
Cleveland, yeah.
Cleveland.
Cleveland rocks.
They just got the indoor plumbing here a couple years ago, right?
That's Adam saying that, not me. I have to go to parties with these people, Adam.
Well, I just want to
They asked me how I was doing. I said, or what I'm up to, or whatever. Just a little meth. Excuse me?
Man, business good
I
down
said,
that way,
so
huh?
just enough to get up and going, nothing to get me incarcerated,
They ain't going back there.
The problem is, I think they might have believed it.
Hey, that's the best part whenever you're throwing it out there. So we teased it. We
didn't come back to this. Adam's been doing some detective work, and I'll throw out this as opinion,
No, it's not.
innuendo.
It's not.
It's you know why eBay Open has been canceled for a fact,
Well,
or is that rumor and innuendo?
okay. Speculation. Speculatory.
Go for it, buddy. Adam's breaking news here.
So I've been, trying to find these new things about how do I stay up on the hot and currents because there's so many different platforms, so many different news outlets, and I was one of the ones I subscribe to. It pulls up eBay podcast, so I get all the hot articles about it. And apparently, you ever heard of this company? There's a company. What's the platform called? Not the Dow Jones, but the NASDAQ. You ever heard of NASDAQ? You ever heard of the NYSE, the New York Stock Exchange?
Oh, yeah. Done a little work. if you go back and listen, I introduced us to a Robin Hood program that Adam was telling me all about last week after I'm like, dude, we talked about it on the show.
So I'm pretty sure that your WWF, they're traded on not NASDAQ, on the New York Stock Exchange.
Yes.
So it's not the third tier, but there's only 30 on the Dow Jones and then certain. So it's basically the third tier. Apparently, the company that owns them, it's called ICE, International something, decided, you know what? We got nothing else going. I feel like I want a shiny new toy. Let's buy eBay.
So, for those of you catching up to this, eBay Open was canceled. It's not happening. We haven't talked about it much on the podcast because we did the on-remote show. We were planning to go to eBay Open and making a big boom, and we even did a commercial saying that you can hang out with us if you want our golden tickets that we'll get into a little later. And then after we record that the next day, eBay Open's been canceled, and no one can really figure out why. And they're saying, oh, we're going to do more local kind of type shows. We'll come and, on the spot train you, so on and so forth. And Adam says, no, I got a pretty good hunch that this happened.
So apparently this is kind of how it threw down, okay? Rumors leaked, innuendos came out saying, hey, we're interested in buying you for $30 billion. Just a smidge more of what's in the Everett household, accounts.
That would be about 29 point a lot, $9 billion more.
So apparently they floated that news over there. And if I were smart, and I would have been on Robinhood, no, Michael Franklin Durbin told me I got to do it. I got to do it. Gots to do it.
If you go back to early Death, Piles, and Taxes, we talk about it. And Adam's like, so there's this thing called Robinhood. I'm like, we talked about it, man. We talked about it. Sorry, that worked me up.
So apparently the day this innuendo kind of floated out there, their stock, the company that was going to purchase them, this ICE, their stock fell 7.5%. eBay stock went ding, 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 ding. They went up 7.5%. And what happened is that NASDAQ, the company that New York Stock Exchange, NYSE, basically their portfolio says, you know what? We're not buying a flat platform where they hawk, used jerseys and Jerry Sloan jock straps and, toilet paper from the 1970s.
Oh, they're a little uppity, huh?
They're snooty.
What's wrong with that?
That's not good enough for us.
But you're making a profit.
Yeah, but they don't care. They don't want to be associated with that kind of people.
So wait a minute. So they make a, hey, we're going to buy you for $30 billion thing. Stocks fluctuate, kind of go nuts on the rumors and innuendo.
Yes.
And now it's coming back of never mind.
So apparently the eBay talks takeover comes at a really tough time because we knew eBay, basically the CEO, Devin
Winnigan or something, yeah.
Winnigiger. He apparently stepped down, he's being pushed out, so eBay sold off part of StubHub to a European competitor for $4 billion, so they lost that wing. But apparently it was like one of those deals like, hey man, I'm thinking about buying you for $30 billion. I'm ready to say, buy. But apparently, he went back and asked his mom, and his mom said, you ain't buying, you ain't hanging out with that crap.
That's even on eBay when you have something up there like, we'll just say Jerry Sloan jockstrap, because that's fun to say, for $300, and there's a guy like, hey, I'm really interested in buying this Friday, I get paid, and you're like, oh, you can buy it just right now. I mean, you can just buy, I'll almost have it ready to ship and stuff, and then Friday comes, he's like, I changed my mind. I'm like, oh, I'll give you a good deal. No, I'm just not interested anymore.
So rumor has it that you should just sell it when you can.
If you got the offer, you take the offer.
Take the offer.
What is it, the old bird in the hand is worth two in the bush or whatever?
There you go. So my speculatory reading into it is eBay is scaling back on some things so they can focus on some more profits, which I don't get why they don't do eBay Open. I mean, heavens, we paid hundreds of dollars to go to it. Party.
Well, the thing, especially last, it sold out in less than a week. So there's definitely demand. I don't know. They're probably not making money out of it, but you're definitely building PR and connecting people. So
they're probably, I'm sure there's another thing in the works, but That's my speculatory.
Well, and when people are getting ready to sell a business and stuff, what's the first thing that goes is they try to trim the fat to make them look a lot more profitable. So if you're showing an eBay opens costing you a few million that you're just kind of putting out there for good fills, and to make
we don't need that.
Adam and Derek happy down in Vegas hanging out with some people, then they're probably going to trim that a little bit and say, okay, now we'll move on to, I don't know, whatever they're doing.
Greener grass.
So, well, that's interesting. I mean, you were hitting about it last week. We didn't really get into it, but eBay may very well still be up for sale then.
Yes, it is.
Oh, whoa.
Well, easy there.
Calm down.
But it was funny because when I had talked to you about it, like they were for sale, and then like the next day, then we ain't gonna do that.
So maybe this person said, I need to buy some stock, and we'll drive it up real fast, and then, never mind, I'm going to sell off the stock. Who knows?
Robin Hood. So.
Yeah.
Other than that, man, it's tax time. Have you got your documents in order yet?
I got the files on the fridge, and I'm just kind of filling it in as they come.
Okay.
No, I don't have all the ducks in the row.
Well, usually, we're usually like a mid-Marches type thing. Which way are you taking me after we do taxes this year?
Well, I hear that you like the Jimmy John's, so maybe I'll take you by there in Phil's shop. I don't know.
Hey, that's only $3 sandwiches. You better put up more than that.
Yeah, I'll let you double the meat.
Oh.
Oh, I know you like the classic U-cut. Maybe I'll just get the Subway sandwich bread, and I'll make you your own sandwich.
Oh, I like that.
If I remember correctly.
My nostalgia.
Or we'll get some Chinese. We always do it up right.
We do. That's the thing is foodie. So we're here on a Saturday edition. It's not going to air obviously Saturday, but rumor has it you got a couple extra dollars in your pocket and you're itching to spend it.
Now here's what happened, and I didn't get into it last week because we were good company, and I can't be too upset. But that very day that we recorded, and I talked about how the furnace was just kaput. So I went to get the furnace, and they bring over the people to sell you the thing or whatever, and then they're like, well, we're doing this, you might as well do your air conditioning because they're connected and they're both 20 years old. So
yeah,
this just crap the bed. You probably want to do that. So let's just say I'm $8,000 to the negative on the week.
Ouch.
That wasn't planned for, but before that, Valentine's Day's coming up, folks. And if you're not selling Valentine's stuff on eBay, it's too late by the time you hear this, but you should have been doing that. So I thought I'd take the wife down. We're going to go down. It's been kind of cold and snowy and stuff. We're going to go down to...
It was snowing on Wednesday night.
We're going to go down to a nice resort down there in Las Vegas since eBay opens. Not going to take me there. And yeah, if I don't come home with enough to pay off that furnace, you'll never see me again, I guess. I don't know.
Are you staying at the Trump Towers again?
By again would mean that I've been there before. I go to places that actually have casinos in them when I go to Vegas because the commission deems them trustworthy to have a casino.
Can you say that on the air?
What?
Don't you know the guy?
Who?
Uh-huh. Yeah, you are playing dumb.
What?
You're going to Vegas, getting out of the snow. That's a good time to go to Vegas, man.
We are staying, so I'll tell you the long story because we're doing a podcast.
Are you going to be buying things?
We're staying at the Rampart, and it's the what's his name, Marriott.
Yeah, I've heard of him.
So it's over in Summerlin, actually.
I've been there before.
So it's way off the strip, way out there.
Been there before.
But so I stopped over there.
You didn't acknowledge that I've been there before.
Yeah, well, you lived in Pahrump. You've probably been to lots of places in Vegas before.
I've been to that hotel. It's very nice.
Oh, that's where they gave me,
very lavish.
So they've been trying to get me to come and spend a couple nights. They gave me a couple free rooms.
Oh, goodness.
And I got a couple $100 worth of gambling credit.
How long did you have to sit through? Mr. Everett, we'd like to sell you a timeshare.
No, see, that's the funny thing. So I tell everyone, and this is going off on a derailment that wasn't supposed to be the derailment. We go out to Wendover. We talk about how we'll go gambling occasionally as friends, right? And I always tell my friends, sign up for the player's card, especially one friend who, the briefcase, throws down some mad cash.
Gers.
He throws down big bucks. And he never gets comp for it because he won't sign up because originally he didn't want his mom to get the flyer seeing that he's been to casinos. That was the original thing is, I don't want it coming to my mom's mailbox.
And now he doesn't want it going to his wife's mailbox.
That's how long ago this has been going. So, last time I was down in Vegas, which, has been a little while ago, we swung by this place. There's a few thrift stores around it. Yes, we'll be thrifting. Yes, this will be tax deductible. And we went in and I got a player's card because they had some promotion that, hey, get a player's card and we'll give you $50 to play or something like that. So we stayed in there for maybe 2 hours, just being generous. And I didn't really gamble a whole lot because I had my wife there. We're looking around at things. It's a nice Marriott property. And so for the last year or so, they've been sending me all these offers. And so finally, we got an offer to come down in February, and they gave us a couple nights option. I guess this is for cheap people too that listen to this podcast and like to save money. Anyways, they put us up for 2 nights in the Marriott. They're giving me a couple $100 of gambling credit and or comp, I guess, free play, and they're giving me some money to eat at their steakhouse. So I said, "You got yourself a deal," and me and the missus are going to go down, and there you have it. That's what's up. So yes, we'll be stopping and doing some thrifting on the way. I was going to go see Aerosmith. They were a little more of a spendy ticket, but then the $8,000 furnace, not sure. We'll go see somebody. I don't know if we'll throw down the Aerosmith because those were pretty spendy tickets. So I'm trying to be a little conservative, but it's also Valentine's Day, and like we said last year, take care of you ladies.
You just said it. I knew you were conservative. I knew it. I knew deep down that's what you were.
Oh, I'm very conservative with money and stuff. I'm cheap. You know that. Mm-hmm. I just care about people too.
That's true.
You know, sue me. What do you got up there?
You know, I like the trending on eBay. I've been starting to follow it a little more. Have you seen this one yet? These, I don't even know, this Rick and Pringle or Rick and Morty.
So if you're watching the Super Bowl, I was going to bring this up. I'm glad you did. Rick and Morty are this weird, it's a Adult Swim cartoon on the Cartoon Network, but it's supposed to be after the Back to the Future.
Yes.
So
I didn't know that.
That's who they're based on.
I watched that thing on Netflix talking about the making of Back to the Future, and they talk about that.
Okay, so I haven't ever really watched the show. It's not really up my alley for whatever reason, but there's an episode where it's Pickle Rick, and so on the and he turns himself into a pickle or something, and it's been the rage. They actually had McDonald's brought back the Szechuan sauce, I believe it is, because of demand from these people, the fans that watch the show. They made some sort of joke about it, and so for a limited time when McDonald's brought back that sauce, it went nuts on eBay as well to buy packets and sell them. The Super Bowl, they did a Pringles ad, which is very smart by Pringles, and so now there's a pickle. Is it Rick or Morty?
Pickled Rick.
Pickle Rick. Thing of Pringles that's like the top rated going on eBay for, what's the prices on that? I haven't seen the prices,
Like
but
$7.50 to $13, $14, $20 for a Pringle.
for a Pringle, the only problem is shipping Pringles could be, if you're buying it, just put it on your desk and stuff, no one cares, but if they actually open it and it's all broken, you're going to have a hard time not having claims on that.
Yeah, there's just so many. Again, it gets to that weird aspect. We talk about it. You know, if this is your first time listening, thank you, appreciate it. You know, we kind of go on these different areas because there's different things. Like you can sell literally anything on eBay, anything.
Yeah.
And well, you can't sell body parts, and you know.
Well, there's limits because of the law.
The law, and you know, stupid people always ruin it for the rest of us.
Yeah, you sell one eyeball too many, and the red flag gets thrown.
Exactly. But you know, right now it's that boy Pat Mahomes. We've been talking about it.
Good little ball player.
Good little ball player. Apparently, he's trending. But here's one. I wonder if you've thought about this. Okay. I know we've talked about it. You would do anything for a Klondike bar. You'd kiss a girl with SARS for a Klondike bar. Remember that?
Too
song?
Too soon.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't want to get that.
I heard the Pelican. I always sell out his wrong name. I heard he was the start of this have a coronavirus or something. That he was having a few too many coronas at a time, and it started a whole epidemic. Is that true?
That's what I heard. I remember there was a rumor about he had a hat that, you know, you had a hat originally and it lost, and there was some leaked footage of where the hat went to.
All I'm saying is the have a coronavirus might be blamed on China, but I'm thinking friend of the show Pelican, haven't heard from him, might have been the cause. Might have been the start. What do they call that? Agent 1 or Patient 1.
Patient 1. That guy does some interesting things for work. We won't get into what he does for work.
Animals are involved. It goes from animals to people.
But you know what? I don't. There were a group of people that do the very similar work that he does. Apparently, he got shipped off to Vegas. But you know what? There was the same group of people. They were in Mexico doing one of these kind of what do we call activities?
Well, he was kind of proud about not being the cleanliness of taking care of personal hygiene, washing hands and things.
Yeah,
so,
something like that. But
so I'm just saying that might have been where that came from.
Apparently, you should be selling face masks, not like one in your helmet, but like the dust things, the surgical mask, because that is the hot thing right now.
Well, people are buying those by the cases, and it was always big over in Asia. I heard it was out of respect, but they didn't want to get others sick because it's not going to stop you if you are sick. But over here, we're just doing it to cover it so we don't catch viruses and things.
I love that. I mean, this is just a simple Walgreens 25 mask, but it's a Walgreens ear loop face mask, surgical grade, 99%, effective flu for coronavirus.
Well, Jesus just crossed the street over there. Maybe we'll go to Walgreens after this episode and clean some masks.
City bones, man.
I tell you what, you rub yourself down with copper, it kills it. You don't need a mask. That's what Derek's saying. I'm fine.
Maybe you need to start putting that up there, man.
No, FDA and claims and regulations.
Well, these guys say it's effective for the coronavirus.
Yeah, I'd be a little iffy about getting that one out there. Unless you like living on the edge and getting those lawsuits against you.
Yeah, so, I don't know, when I saw that one, I'm like, that is unique. That is definitely out there. So, again, when we get into it, that's, I guess, talking about following those hot trends, any of these trending things. We got into it a couple weeks ago about Kobe, your buddy Kobayashi, throwing down all them hot dogs.
No, this is a different guy.
Who? What?
This is Kobe Bryant.
Oh, man.
No wonder you didn't care. We're so heartless about the hot dog man.
Kobe Bryant.
I was going to bring up the people that said, what's wrong with Adam?
I thought you said Kobayashi.
Yeah, there you go. My mistake. Your apologies accepted. Let's move along before you offend somebody else.
I just, I'm a big Joey Chestnut guy. Talking about the trending items, those are the kind of things that, it sells. It just does.
And that's the thing. When you're checking on these trends, it's going to be things for a couple weeks. So like the Rick and Morty from the Super Bowl, it's going to be a limited time Pringle thing. Pat Mahomes is hot after the Super Bowl. I mean, what else was down there? The mask, the corona flu, whatever. It's probably, hopefully, not going to be up for a long time. So, I mean, these things trend, and has to be something that you can flip pretty fast.
Yeah, apparently, I know it's winter time, and I know you boys usually take it off, but when are you going back for the Thursday night, activities with your boys at the park, playing with your swords?
Oh, you mean our LARPing?
Yeah, yes, you're LARPing.
Well, I know you're not a big Game of Thrones guy, Adam, but winter is coming.
Winter is coming?
There you go.
I don't know what that means.
10 people. People got it.
Apparently these things are, on there too, these swords and things, so.
Yeah, I mean, always check out what's going on and keep yourself relevant. If you're looking for a niche, a lot of people will ask me, and I know I say this every week, but they're like, this is coming from the family stuff, like, well, what do you sell? I ran into a guy that was actually the county lawyer, what's that called, commissioner?
Commissioner, friend of the program, he may or may not have just called me this week.
No, this is different guy. This is, he was formerly the county attorney, but now he's took off on, anyways, ran into him at the same event.
I know where you're talking about.
And he says to me, what's this podcast thing you got? Or a sticker. It was the same thing. I said, I got a podcast. And, well, the same thing. Kind of goes down the whole things on eBay, so on and so forth. And he goes, I had a guy that was going to law school with me, and he'd go over to the thrift stores, and this was back in the early days of eBay.
Yeah.
He was buying things and selling them on eBay. I said, yeah, that's exactly what we talk about. He said he paid for his law school doing this.
I believe it.
And I said, yeah, that's what we're talking about. He said, I might have to check you out. So
there you go.
I said, if I ever get in jail, you're going to be my one call.
Again.
No, this is, if I ever get in jail. We watched SVU and
Oh, man.
you always watch these shows, and they never, I got my one guy that was county attorney, whatever you call it, and even if he wasn't the defense or whatever, I'm like, I call you, you tell me what we do, and I just go with it. I think he's a judge now, actually.
I like Lenny.
Lenny Kravitz?
No, Lenny from the show.
From what show?
From Law and Order.
Oh, you're like original.
Oh, yeah.
Original flavor.
That's
We're
the
like,
one.
we're 30 years down SVU. They've had like,
I know we've talked about this
Criminal
before.
Intent.
Your wife likes some of those shows. I remember went over before and she talked about it.
I get a little scared. Oh yeah, if I ever go missing, you will not find me. I mean, it's and she won't get convicted because she'll make the one call. I said, this is who we call if you ever get arrested. This is the person.
She's got it figured out.
You don't call Adam. You don't call your mom. You call this man.
We're going to leave him nameless.
Yeah. So, no, that's the thing, and I think a lot of people can relate. For whatever reason, my wife loves these murder mystery type shows, Dateline, your 48 Hours and such, and it's down to such a science that, yeah, she's figured it out. So
Well,
don't mess with me, or
no.
you might end up with her.
That's right. Derek will find it. So there's your attorney stuff, your law stuff. Man, we've gotten the gambit. We better get to our special year month of celebrations.
Oh, actually, let me announce our winner for this week. So
Ooh.
if you're not familiar, it was a little confusing. I think we're going to run another ad that explains it a little better. But if you review our podcast show, send me a screenshot. If you do it on YouTube or if you do it on Apple, whatever, subscribe, 5-star, or subscribe on YouTube.
Or Castbox.
Or Castbox, wherever. Send me a picture. Just wherever you want to. If you have my personal number, you can text it to me. If not, YouTube, you can send it over there.
Facebook
You can
group,
send it Facebook group.
Instagram.
You can send it Messenger. You can send it Instagram. You can send it Twitter. So our winner this week is Matt Z, and I believe he was from Indiana.
Wow.
So Matt Z has won. Not only is he getting a sticker, but he has won a T-shirt. You can't buy these T-shirts. You got to win them. Death Piles and Taxes T-shirts, at least on this first run. And I'll send it out with the sticker if you win. Now, how we find out who wins the T-shirt is every week I'm taking these people that send me the screenshots and I'm drawing from them. Everyone that sends a screenshot will get a sticker.
Okay.
But I'll draw out of those people, and one of those people will win a T-shirt, which was Matt this week, was Mallory the previous week.
Man.
And of those, if you get the sticker, and it's our golden ticket sticker,
Because I got a golden ticket.
you get to hang out with me and Adam, or we'll Skype you, or we'll figure out a time to hang out if you don't live in the state because eBay opened just totally screwed us over.
But we might be going to that Chicago reseller one.
Yeah, we've talked about going to Ecom Chicago.
That would be sweet.
We'll announce where that is, but if we're out and about in your area, we'll hang out with you. If you're out and about in our area, we'll hang out with you. If that doesn't happen, we'll Skype you.
And by hang out, Derek, means we're going to do some serious, the Husky section is here for a reason. We'll do some serious eating, hit some thrift stores, kind of talk about different things, our big hits, our big losers.
Yeah, we'll just sit and hang out. We'll go through thrift stores, retail arbitrage, whatever you want to do, and we're going to make Adam make sure that we eat well. We're not going to go to no Jimmy John $3 sandwich like I pay for my taxes with. We'll eat a nice buffet or a nice restaurante.
Oh, I like that.
So keep coming over. It's going to go through the rest of this month at least. We might extend it depending, but the stickers are going faster than I thought.
I know, I told you I wanted some. Like, we don't have any to get. I'm like, dude, I need some. Like, people come in here, they're asking me about the podcast. I want to be able to. I had 2 people this week. Well, no, not this week. I mean, 2 days ago. I'm like, tell them about the podcast. Like, oh, I'll look it up right now. And both he and his wife did it.
Okay.
So
That's what I thought. I thought, man, we got a lot of stickers. I'm like, I might got too many. Now I'm like, I don't know if I got enough. So
I don't know. So,
they're going, folks. So
well, we're gonna go to break, but before we do, I just want to say, happy birthday, friend of the program, Brian.
hey, happy birthday, Brian. I'm not going to say nothing mean.
Wow, is that your birthday gift?
To him, yes.
You and Bono enjoy your day.
It's a beautiful day.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Well, Adam, eBay went and ruined my plans for this golden ticket opportunity.
What golden ticket opportunity?
It's our birthday, and if you want a free Death Piles and Taxes sticker, you just DM me and let me know that you subscribe to us and show me that 5-star rating or your YouTube subscription.
So we're trying to get more of our viewers, people knowing about we're out there, we're international, worldwide. What Derek's saying is we just want you to take a screenshot of you reviewing the podcast on whatever your platform is. Send it to Derek either on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, all of those, and you will be entered for the contest.
Well, you'll get the free sticker regardless. I'll send you a sticker. The contest is if you get the golden ticket sticker, you basically get to come hang out with us, or if we're on the road in your town, we hang out with you.
So you're telling me I get a chance for a golden ticket, you sticker, but you also told me something about a t-shirt.
Okay, this is where I lost people, apparently. You get a free sticker if you do this regardless. I mail it to you.
Everyone's getting a sticker.
But each week, we got a Death Piles and Taxes t-shirt.
Ooh.
And I'm going to take a drawing of all the people that have entered and won a sticker.
Okay.
The winner of that drawing gets the t-shirt.
All right.
Simple, right?
Super simple. Reviewer, put us on the platforms. Help us out. We're trending. We're moving up. We're getting more people.
That's what it's all about. It's helping us grow. It's our birthday present to you. It's been an awesome year, and we appreciate you supporting Death Piles and Taxes.
Because I got a golden ticket. So we just had some breaking news for the second half of Death Piles and Taxes. I know you know Don Sr., but apparently Mike Painter knows Don Jr.
Apparently that's a part of the Husky section now.
And the Husky section, they're just getting bigger and bigger.
Tell you, we're bad. We're nationwide. Is that how it goes?
I didn't mean fatter and fatter. I just meant more people know about it.
Yeah. Cheap shots, man. Cheap shots.
Oh, man. I'm still laughing at your sewer water here. Ingredient number 2, so this is one of those family party things. Ingredient number 1 is water, but the second is fecal matter, toilet paper, hair lint. Wow, that's quite the gift.
Yeah, it makes you not want to drink it.
I don't think I would either.
It gives you a good aversion, but it's North Davis Sewer District, so
Well,
isn't that where Pelican is he?
Apparently that's the nice part of Ogden.
Okay, I didn't say the town of Ogden. I just North Davis. I don't know.
Yeah, North Davis County. So how are you going to make me some money this week? I know we go off, we talked about different things. What are you doing this last week to make money?
Make you money or make me money?
Well, when you do well, you make me money because I have to count it for you when you do your taxes.
So Scrooge McDuck, I have you over to the vault and we go swimming while you count my money. Is that what happens?
That's right.
Well, it's one of those things. I've been hitting the cards because it's fun, right? It's been really enjoyable.
Yeah, that's a nice thing. We enjoy it. It's easy to do.
But the problem is, I had to throw down an unexpected bill of $8,000 for the old furnace AC, new unit, all that kind of thing, and it just throws you into this. Okay, I gotta make some money, right?
It sounds like you better get off your touche and start doing some listing.
So I got to get listed, and then we're gonna go down and do the Vegas thing, and all that. So I need some spending cash on that. Basically, it's just hitting that death pile. Like I got so much stuff, but I got some of the cards and things, but those are they're either hit or miss, and I'm gonna have to sell a whole lot of wrestling cards to make up for an 8K differential. So I think I'm gonna go dip into some of that Jerry Sloan supply and say, what have I missed? What have I been skimming over? I do need to go talk to Phil about. He was saying that he might have some interested buyers in some of my memorabilias, right? So it might be a good time if anyone's looking to get some Olympic signed shoes from the mailman or John Stockton.
Olympics are coming up.
Well, and it was from the Dream Team. If you go back and listen to the archived episodes, you get the whole story. But what was when the Devil went down to Georgia, he was in a bind because he was way behind and he was willing to make a deal. I'm in a bind because, I needed warm air and I'm willing to make a deal. So, yeah, that's kind of the things I'm going to be looking at. Maybe moving some of the bigger items, the more expensive, the more kind of, I don't know what you'd call it, the things that you kind of put off to the side and say, I know this is worth something. But I might just start kind of flooding the market with a few things and seeing what happens. I'm really enjoying doing the cards and stuff, but it's one of those things that I can always come back to unless I pull like a super hot card. It's the Rock rookie year isn't going to change. I don't know if you watched the Super Bowl. We talked about that. There's a lot of pro wrestling on the Super Bowl.
I know, Ric Flair, didn't he have 2 commercials?
Ric Flair, John Cena was all over it. Aaron, my brother, who was on there, was counting the times that he saw The Rock, and he was annoyed by how often The Rock was on if you go from introducing the players to commercials and movies and stuff, so.
His father just passed away.
Yep, his father was also a pro wrestler.
I never knew that.
Yeah, so that was where, both of his families, so that's Rocky was his dad, and Maivia was the mom's side, so that's how he came up with his gimmick name.
But the interesting thing about all those commercials and like I said, those trending items, the whole reason we have the podcast is Gary Vaynerchuk said, do it. He actually had 3 Super Bowl commercials.
Oh, see?
He was in charge of the hummus commercial with your boy Ric Flair.
Mm-hmm.
But the big one was the Mr. Peanut.
Oh, so that was controversial. People were kind of upset and kind of not. But I heard there was some
There was some bad timing.
because of the Kobe thing, how Mr.
Yes.
Peanut died.
Yeah.
They had to kind of alter it, but
They had to change it.
the whole hey, just kidding, I'm back.
Yeah.
Was that going after the Baby Yoda thing? Is that where that was at, or?
I'm not quite sure. I really feel like the Kobe death really kind of impacted them, and I think they were very sensitive about it.
Which I get. You got a lot of sports fans watching it,
Yeah.
and it hadn't even been a week at that
You know, I
point.
mean, Mr. Peanut died. I mean, come on, we can't have two icons die in a week.
Oh, Mr. Peanut's 103 or something, right?
Well, he's a cartoon, man. He just don't crack. Like, he's just around for, like Garfield.
You tell me that Mr. Peanut don't crack.
Not the one that they're. I mean, he's a good dude.
I've cracked a few nuts in my day.
I know you have. Blue almond,
Okay.
emerald blue.
So your boy Gary, I was gonna bring this up. So you sent that tweet. I went back and looked at it.
Yeah.
Well, he was looking for people that not only wrestling but boxing and MMA.
Well, here's the thing. You're the greatest at wrestling. He said, you know what? I found my wrestling guy.
Oh, I got to be the wrestling guy.
Yeah, I mean,
But you know, I'm not as diversified in those other arenas.
Hey, when you got skills, man, it doesn't matter that you may or may not have everything, because there might be somebody that applies and they're not going to have the knowledge like you do.
Well,
You can have another side hustle.
hey, while we're on the topic, let me do a derail real fast. I need to kind of an apology derail, but it deals with pro wrestling. So,
Your derailments are never fast.
well, it's going to be faster than not, but yeah, not your average derailment, but it will be. So we have a text group with all of our friends, and we like to get on there and we'll razz each other a little bit, but we also, support each other. And there's a pro wrestler, MJF, and he's the best bad guy going on right now. And he sent out this tweet, and I thought it was funny, and it said something to the effect of, and I apologize, but it said something to the effect of, I'm watching TLC, they have the show 1,000-Pound Lady or something like that. She has a boyfriend. If you're single right now and she has a boyfriend, you are a loser. And I sent it out thinking it was funny because this is a bad guy trying to get people upset with him. And it's really good because right now a lot of the bad guys in pro wrestling are trying to be cool guys and want people to cheer for him. And this guy's really embraced he wants people to hate him and, want to go and
Yeah, he's pulling the bad guy.
and slit his tires at the end of the show and really hate him, and he commits to it. So I sent that out, and a friend of the show, who's been on the show, who I didn't direct this towards, I didn't mean this personally,
MFD.
who is single, MFD, he might be, wow, their initials are almost the same.
I know.
Wow, that's, okay, that is a coincidence. He sends over a thing like, I get it, I'm a loser, I'm single, I'm a loser. That wasn't directed at him, I'm sorry, I apologize for that. I just thought it was funny, it would give the boys a bit of a laugh. And I was saying, this is why, because everyone says, why do you like that fake pro wrestling stuff? And it's stuff like that where it's like, that's just funny. That's just good. When he goes out and tells that to an arena full of people and they start hating him and stuff, that's just good stuff. And then I was going through other things they said, and I say, well, here's some more examples. And I thought, I'm just going to be burying myself. So a derailment, it was just meant to be funny. I wasn't taking personal shots. So that's an apology for that. But apparently, if you're single and a 1,000-pound girl has a boyfriend, you could find yourself a lady.
The show's called Hot and Heavy.
I haven't seen it.
I know it comes up in my Hulu preferences. You never know what's in there.
Yeah, you never know.
I throw off the algorithms for Google when I look for
I got you.
wheelchairs.
Yeah. So, anyways, that was the derailments. Usually at the end of the show, I just thought we'd throw it on since it was relevant with what we were talking about. Adam, bail me out. What do you got here?
You threw out some initial. I love Tax Time because I get the coolest stories. I just, you bring up podcasts, some of the stuff that I do, and because I've known people for years and years and years. And one new guy, like I said, he brought up, he said, "Oh man, that's a great idea." Like I knew this lady, down in central Utah, and they used to have a music store, but they've closed it down since then, and they have a lot of old new stock of amps and different things. I was like, dude, yeah, go down there, see what you can do. It's worth money, and that's your wheelhouse. You know about guitars, you know about music, go do it. He's like, yeah, I'm going to go do it. And I says, I want to see you have to pay taxes next year because you did it.
Well, and things like that. I mean, how many of these places around the country that we don't know about that people are like, oh yeah, my uncle lived in the small town, the neighbor was the lady that did this or that, and they closed up shop, and it's just full of stuff. And there's people willing to buy that. Like, especially when you're getting to old amps and guitars and things, those things are collectible. So
Got into also talking about, everybody, that's the thing, everybody's like, oh man, I should have done this. Apparently, someone had some very old 1927, 28, 30 New York Yankees memorabilia with Babe and Lou Gehrig. They had it like it was their grandpa's, and then they gave it to them. But apparently, Mom didn't want it. She threw it all away.
oh, there's always those stories.
And it's like, now it's like, oh, I should have, held on to it. But if you're not listing, you're a hoarder. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then some people don't know the perceived value versus the real value. Like, there could have been that same thing where it was, a bunch of no-name players and it was just worthless and get rid of it. So Mom doesn't know or care.
It all kind of depends. But that, again, getting into those things is it's not hard. What I mean by it's not hard. People ask me, I'm like, yeah, my family and I started doing it. We got a good little transfer in there. We keep getting more. It's amazing how much money that you can actually make doing this. I know we talked about year one. My goal was $5,000. We didn't quite hit that, but realistically, we're about $3,000. We had to pay for supplies. We had fees and stuff. But
Well, I'm not making excuses for you too, but you've had some different things happen as far as now you're expecting, and some different things with the business and stuff that came up. There's always going to be things that come up, but you had a realistic goal, and you're in the ballpark, right?
it was attainable, and I think it's teaching me things. That's the things that's really helping me understand with my other online business, and that's kind of where I think we're going to get into a little more things. We're not just an eBay reseller outlet. We are an opportunity to learn about selling online. And with my other business I've been working on, I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot about what to do, what not to do. And one of the things we talked about in the past was drop shipping. And, it's one of those things do you get into it? Do you not get into it? I'm getting into it right now.
Well, there's we're going to do a whole show on that based on what it was. And in the beginning, I was writing down ideas, and then we kind of come in freestyle. So maybe we need to get back to some more of those specific, hey, we'll do a whole show about what is drop shipping, different options and things. But what are you doing then? Let's break it down.
Well, we're trying, again, to get these, this wheelchair. I make a very unique off-road wheelchairs with some partners. And, again, we're just trying to find that strategy of, okay, we have a website, because one of the things we talked about, it's, you can't sell, or your opportunity to sell an Angus MacGyver jacket on Main Street in Payson is very, very slim because people aren't looking for it. So that's why you've got to be worldwide. And that's what websites do. They call it www for a reason.
It's the World Wide Web.
Yeah, so that's what we're trying to do, is kind of establish a website. We did some things on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, and I do a lot heavy on LinkedIn, and just trying to figure out which platforms to do. And I paid a lot of money to different organizations, different places that are supposed to help me out, and I'm just not getting the results I want to yet. So we reached out to one of these other, it's a website. All they do is drop ship medical supplies.
Let's break down. I know a lot of people are probably familiar, but drop shipping 101 basics is basically a middleman. So it can go both ways, but I have a product and I want to sell it to the customer. I either order it from a company that holds it in the warehouse and they'll supply it, or they order it from me, I send it to them and they supply it. So drop shipping is just basically you don't hold the inventory necessarily, or the customers, you're kind of the middleman.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I figured out is this company is the drop shipper. They have the platform, they do everything, and essentially what we will be doing is we'll get an order and we ship it out. So we're, in essence, we're just hoping to get these orders to come into us. We pay them a fee for every one that they sell, and all we're doing is shipping them out. So we're kind of on the other end of the drop shipper part, the drop shippy.
You're more the wholesale, the main access point for these people.
We send that out. They're the Amazon. We're the seller. We ship it out from the Amazon warehouse.
You're the
So
you're the supply.
Yeah, we are the supply and the demand. So we're working with that spectrum. I don't know. Got our fingers crossed. I've become very speculatory on a lot of different people, but we'll see how it goes. The nice part is they were extremely transparent on some of our competitors, some of the similar items, and it was shocking how many items they were selling of this chair. I mean, like we're talking, they in last year in the 12 fiscal months they sold more than 320 of this particular competitor of ours, and if we were selling that, we'd be having a different conversation.
We'd be at a big desk.
We'd be at the big boys.
Well, that's the thing. And if you're selling items, you're saying, wait a minute, can I drop ship on eBay? You absolutely can, and that's one of the things I started off doing. Like I said, we was going to do a whole show about it, but eBay has came out and said if you're buying stuff on Amazon and shipping it through eBay, they don't want you doing that. But there's plenty of other platforms and places that you can go buy items at wholesale or somewhere like that, and you just sell them on eBay, and once it sells, you click a button and it ships. So Adam's trying to do that with wheelchairs on a different website, which is fine.
And well, like I said, we'll kind of keep you with success on that and all those different things. But I do want to get into another topic, something that kind of hit me in a good way. With these new trade laws, with these new things, the government is finally going to start cracking down on counterfeit items.
I like that.
Like they are really going to start going after these counterfeit items that are being sold on Amazon. eBay's really good at kind of keeping those items out.
They kind of police it pretty well.
They police it. I mean, you had the experience where they said, "You're selling counterfeit memorabilia," and you said, "The heck, I'm not."
I said, "Oh, wait 1 minute. Let me produce some items here for you."
Hold on that. And Amazon does not do that. And that again, that's always been one of it's against the law.
Well, it's disappointing if you ever went on Amazon and you buy something and you think, I'm getting this name brand, whatever it is, right? And you get it and it's obviously just a piece of junk. And Amazon says, well, just send it back and we'll give you your money. Well, that's fine, well and good. But that's a lot of extra hoops to jump through, extra transactions. And I enjoy going to Central Park as much as the next person and haggling over a pair of Oakleys or a purse. But at that time, and I'm not saying that's right, but I know going into that situation that this is a knockoff, not a real brand.
Yeah.
A fake Rolex, a Tijuana Rolex, as one of our episodes was. If I go on Amazon or any other website and I'm thinking I'm buying a pair of Oakleys or a Gucci purse or whatever, and I think, oh, this is an amazing deal,
Yeah.
and I get it, and it's obviously a piece of junk, that's not trustworthy, and for those of us that are selling online, it diminishes what people think, that's just, people just sell junk or knockoff counterfeits. I'm not going to go buy or support online merchants because they're just selling counterfeit goods. So those of us that aren't selling counterfeit goods don't get the traffic and the people coming back.
And I don't know. I'm one for enforcing the law. I'm glad that this is one of those things. Obviously, it will be a lot more. It's going to take some time, some difficulty, but they really came out publicly saying, Amazon, you need to start doing what you're supposed to be doing. If you are selling counterfeit goods, and that's one of the things they get a lot of sports memorabilia is knockoffs, and that's again it's a big issue, and for some people it's not that big a thing. Same thing with copyrights. It's like one of those things that's enforceable but not really enforceable. Do I buy a pirated movie? Do I? There's so many things that you as an end user is. Ideally I want the stuff for the least amount of money, but how do you do it? And Amazon's fine. The big brother's gonna come and start knocking on the door.
Well, and I mean, it's sad that it takes a lot to do that. Amazon should just say, hey, we're going to do this because we want integrity for a product. But it does come back to, a lot of these places, if it's counterfeit, I mean, a lot of it gets shady on what it's supporting, whether it's drug rings or even trafficking and that kind of thing. And I don't think any of us, we might joke around about a little meth here and there, but we don't want to be associated with that.
No.
You don't want to be supporting cartels and that kind of thing. So, it's one of those things. It's going to be hard to enforce, but there definitely has to be something done. So I'm glad they're stepping in.
When I heard that, I got very excited. It was one of those things that, nobody's in this to rip somebody off. Like, it's the same thing. I mean, just like, going to Phil's shop. Phil is not there to take advantage of everyone. I am not in the business to have you come into here and overcharge you, perform poor service. That's not how my company grows.
Yeah, I mean, over the long haul, you're not going to be in business for long, regardless of what you're doing. If that's your motive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do we all want to make money and as much profit as we can? Sure.
But you got to do it in the right way, the right format, and that's what being an online seller is. It's you treat it just like your grand opening, your store. How do I start my store? I mean, customer service is number one. It always pays off.
It always does, and I mean, I've had times, and I'm sure people out there listening, where you almost get that negative review where people are sending back, hey, you know, this wasn't great, and instead of just blowing up in the comments, which we've all done, or sending the negative messages, you fix it for them, and some of those people become return customers because they know you're a straight shooter, they know what they're going to get from you, and they know if there's a problem, you're going to fix it. So don't take it as an opportunity that you're getting, you know, bamboozled or used or whatever. Use it to your advantage and turn a negative into a positive. The whole cliche of, you know, whatever, that's kind of like everyone says that, but do it.
You just triggered something really good. So, again, the internet's changed the world. There's a lot of people in the same situation I am as far as business. Very small little shop. I mean, I've got myself and 2 other people that help run the whole place. We service a lot of people. There's other offices online that do this, some of the Facebook groups. We are able to chat with each other, talk about, you know, winners, losers, you know, same thing we're doing on here. A guy talked about some guy just came in and says, well, how much do you charge to reprint my return? And the guy, the owner of the business, says, I don't charge anything. What do you need? He says, oh no, I didn't come here. I was just asking how much you charge to print off a return. And the owner was kind of baffled. He's like, what do you mean? He's like, well, the lady I go to right now charges me $2 a page. And the guy's like, no, you know, if you're a client, we'll do that for you. He says, okay. So this guy who was asking about how much he charged, so he came to this tax preparer and says, man, that's awesome. He took care of him. And then he told his brother, his mother, his sister, so off of this one simple gesture telling this gentleman, like, hey, I don't charge for that, he just picked up 10 new clients because he killed them with kindness.
I mean, yeah, you never know. And I know we all get these people that are kind of nickel and diming you. You're like, is this worth my time?
Yes.
But sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't, right? You're not going to win them all, but if you have that reputation, over the long run, you're going to be successful. When I go to buy cards, I can go buy them from Phil, my buddy, hang out, get what I need, or I can go to Walmart and get treated like crap. They might have it, they might not, and where am I going to go, right?
Exactly. And that's the thing. You know, I talk about this with my brother. I mean, yes, Walmart is the greatest, like the largest company in the world.
I mean, they're not losing any sleep overnight. They're growing. They're rolling. I shop at Walmart too. I know I just threw them under the bus. Don't sue me, Walmart.
But that's the thing is you go there for certain items. You know, I can't buy bread and milk at the it's just, that's where you go to get it. That's just the way that it works.
That's the way of the world right now.
It is. It's the way of the world. Like, yeah, I can go out of my way to pay more some places, and for some things I do that, but that's what it is. But again, it's all service related.
And one of the big threats to Walmart, and I know they're doing a lot of the, you know, we're kind of going all over the place, but they're kind of doing the come pick up. A lot of these grocery store chains are starting to do the, hey, we'll shop for you. You come up, and it's competing with that where they say, hey, that's good service. I'd rather deal with these people than and I think in the long run, Walmart's going to have to change its reputation and maybe be a little friendlier, maybe be a little nicer if they want to keep going, because Walmart could turn into Kmart really fast.
Absolutely.
In the blink of an eye. And I think they know that. They're not stupid. I mean, they've been running this business for decades. So
you brought me in. I know we're jumping, but it's all about making money online. Had a client that came in, they did DoorDash. Here, they were doing DoorDash. If you're not familiar, DoorDash is the Uber of food.
Yeah, there's a few of them. There's Uber Eats, DoorDash. Yeah, there's a few different outfits. So you can, like Uber or Lyft, you can do them all. So I'm just saying, if you're going to do it, do them all.
But, you know, we live, you know, we're not in rural, but we're in a rural area.
Pretty small town.
You know, pretty small town. I mean, it's less than 20,000 here and then 10 where we live. But there isn't a lot of that going on. But about 15, 20 minutes north in Spanish Fork, there are, and this girl says, my mom loves it. She's like, it is like the most relaxing thing she's ever done. Like, she goes to the Chinese place, she goes to like, they go pick it up, they drive it to somebody's house, they drop it off, they get paid, no big deal. They drive around, they listen to Death Piles and Taxes, and just enjoy life.
I mean, yeah, that's the thing. When we talk about this, or when I'm telling people, you know, they say, what's your podcast about? It's hard to, you know, I just kind of say selling crap on the internet, selling crap on eBay. But really, it's just finding that independent freedom, side hustle. You can drive for, you know, we did that special episode, drive for Uber or Lyft. You can do, you know, sell just retail, start your own store. You can do retail arbitrage, start your own store. You can be delivering food. Whatever it is, you're just finding extra ways to make money and be successful. And that's what we want. We want people to be able to just have that financial independence, because when that happens and when that starts to occur, you're relaxed and you have just success. You have that ability to not be stressed out. Your family's happier, you're happier, and it's a good place to be.
Life's too short to work for that bad boss. We
Man.
had the bad boss story.
Yeah, we had hashtag bad boss for a few episodes. I didn't bring it back up, and I got talking with Adam, and he did some business with my bad boss, but we're not going to get
I
into
know, I
that.
forgot, that's so random. But that's kind of the whole idea, is if you're not going to work, we brought it up in the text group the other day, like, I love coming to work.
Well, even with Phil, right, when he's like, Monday after the Super Bowl, when everyone's like, oh, man, I don't want to do it. He was kind of sad that he didn't open because he takes Mondays off because he can.
Yeah, I don't know, I feel like that now.
I mean, I have the regular job, right? I have the 9 to 5, and some days, it's harder than others. Some weeks are harder than others, but I do enjoy what I do. I enjoy where I work. But I think part of it's in the back of my head. If it goes south, I have an out. Like, it's nice knowing that you got that parachute of, if whatever happens, I get laid off, I get fired, I just decide I hate it, I got something I can go do in the meantime until I find something else, or ramp it up and go full time.
Yeah.
And I think there's kind of that safety net of, hey, it might suck some days, but other days it doesn't. Whatever.
Yeah.
It's enjoyable.
It's fun. Like it is. It's just fun to learn and to move on and do new things. So, I don't know. Tax season's great. I don't know. Just a good point of life for me right now.
Well, I'm glad you're happy, Adam. Hopefully everyone out there listening's happy. And, I mean, we're getting success. We're growing. We had have a face on a sticker and the T-shirts and stuff. Did you ever think that would happen with the podcast? I know you're always grilling me about, did you ever think this would happen?
No, but I love it. Like, to know that we have a sticker is awesome. And, it is. It's a little thing. Like, think about that, 30 years ago. Like, this whole apparel thing is so cool. It's so new. We can have our own hat brand. Like,
I mean, there's endless possibilities. And I've even been looking into, you can make T-shirts, right? So, like, maybe it won't be death, piles, and taxes. You'd have to be able to do some things. But if you have an idea and designs and stuff, you can make your own shirts and just sell them.
Absolutely.
I mean, the internet has took down the barrier to entry on almost everything, and it's going to continue to.
Yep.
That if you have a passion, go in that direction and figure it out. Like Phil did. You might have to sleep in the tent for a couple nights, but you'll find out if you're really into it or not.
If you like it, if you're that passionate about it that you can sleep on it. And that's the thing, like, he did it the smart way. He slow rolled it. He learned about it. He took some time to make sure that he was doing something that he wanted to love.
And he found out what sold good in this area. So with the internet, things trend differently, right? So if he was just looking online, he might see this trends. He was coming here to where he knows his clients are going to be and saw what they liked. We talked about the guy going out of business in the car at the other park. And
Yeah.
I mean, he was an older gentleman and he was looking to just sell everything, but he had no clue. He hadn't kept up on the product knowledge, and that might just come with age and being done with it. But he just said, no, don't have it, don't care. And I was able to get some cards from him.
Yeah.
And we'll see how all that pans out. But it wasn't anywhere near the money that I've spent with Phil.
You got to have the ability to adapt. Because it's a changing, with the winds, things that were hot last year, things that were hot 2 weeks ago, they're just not. And as long as you're staying up on it and enjoying it.
And that's kind of the thing. Like the trends, if you're going to chase that carrot that's dangling, you do have to keep moving. But if you find your secret little niche, there's people that sell whatever. If I knew what it was, I'd be rich. But there's people that find their little niches, and it's not chasing the carrot and the trend. It's something stable for them until it gets discovered. So, you're selling whatever item X, and you can just do that for years, and you're making money too. So there's no shortage of what you can do, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
Well, I don't know. Well, we're getting close on time. I do want to should we end with a tax time?
Yeah, let's do a tax time. I already got derailed a little bit. I kind of feel bad if I hurt feelings, so I don't want to hurt more.
Well, here we go. Here's your tax time tip. One of the things that people don't really, think about it and my aspect, the way I look at taxes is very different. I like to look at people's taxes. I don't just take a paper and run it in the computer. I try and have a discussion with you about what's going on, because I always teach people, the more you understand, the better you're going to be able to make decisions. One thing we always look at is getting the tax brackets. You always hear this. Have you heard this? Oh, I don't want to go into the next tax
I
bracket.
don't go up to that expert. I've heard people actually say that they didn't want promotions or salary-ish things at work because it put them in different brackets and cost them with whether it was child support or this, that, and the other money.
there's a fine line between those, getting into insurances and things. I mean, I totally understand that, and that's why you need to have a professional. Some of the Obamacare health insurance, if you go over a certain threshold, you have to pay back a lot of money. Some people, they lose a lot of tax credits if they go over certain thresholds. But the tax brackets specifically, okay? Tax brackets are tiered. When you make from 0 to 20,000, and this is your taxable income. Not going to get too nerdy, but you have your gross income, you have your standard deduction or itemized deduction. Just to keep the math simple, you made 100,000, you have a standard deduction of 24,000, your taxable income is 76,000. That 76,000, depending on you're single or married, has tax brackets. There's a 0 and a 12% bracket to get to a point. Once you go over the limit by $1, $100, it's only that small portion that goes over the limit that's in the next tax bracket.
So what you want to do is take that money and send it to D. Roy Everett, Venmo.
Yes, you could do that. Or then you realize is, okay, once our income goes above $83,000, anything above 80, that $3,000, instead of it being taxed at 12%, is now going to be taxed at 22%. So it's not retroactive and taking everything off the board. It's only a small portion. So don't really worry about going to that next tax bracket because you're making more money.
It's never a bad thing to make more money, and that's what I've never understood is if that's the case, then you should be paying whatever, wherever it comes out, whether it's government type things, this, that, or, like, I always say this, that, and the other. I don't know why. In normal conversation, I don't say it, but I notice in the podcast I'm saying that a lot. So it's never bad to make more money.
It isn't. And here's the thing is there are options. And I tell people, well, if you're getting there, one thing that I definitely encourage as a tax influential item is putting more money to your retirement. Because that pre-tax retirement, whether it's a 401k, an IRA, not Roth, but pre-tax, it lowers your taxable liability. So somebody in that situation, if they took that extra $3,000 and instead of being taxed now at 22%, here in Utah it's 5%, other places it's 7 or 8 or 11%. So let's do the math simple, say it's 30% between federal and state. On that $30,000, or on that $3,000, not 30, I mean that's what Derek makes in a weekend.
Hopefully this weekend in Vegas.
On that $3,000, if you were to say, I want to put more money into my retirement, that $3,000 is going to be off the board as taxable. So now you're taking it back under, and it's not going to be taxed at 30%. So you just put $3,000 away, and you just saved $900 in taxes. So really, it only cost you $2,100 to put $3,000 away that now you're going to have 5, 10, 35 years for that money to grow for you. And those are just simple little things that you can do that are...
Those are your little accounting tricks.
Those are 100% legal things.
Little hacks.
To lower your tax liability, to save more money.
And that's why you go to somebody like Adam that can figure all this out for you.
You can put money in an HSA, your health savings account. It's the same thing. There's so many little things like that that some of these bigger places, they don't go out of their way for the customer service, the extra mile, the getting you a soda when you come into the card shop, knowing your name, talking about your kid. There's certain things that other people do because they actually care. You're not just a number going through a cashier's line. You actually care because when you succeed, Derek, I succeed. We all succeed together.
That's the way to do it. I mean, you can be a clog in the drain, or you can be a name on friend. Which would you rather be?
I'd rather be both because...
You want to be a clog in a drain?
Oh, I wasn't listening to you.
Exactly. Yeah. A bump on a log will Adam Beasley.
I was getting my thing going.
Yeah, I know. You're over there excited.
I'm telling you, man, I get excited about taxes.
Yeah, man, you just want to help out, help other people grow, and that's what we're doing, just supporting small local businesses or people and growing that way.
I love seeing people make more money because it means they have more disposable income. We share, we all grow. when the economy's good, we're all doing good.
There you go.
We all have opportunities to buy things on eBay, sell things, buy cards, start new businesses, get accounting services, buy wrestling cards, which we didn't get into. I'll have to get in next week. I know we're cutting off, but I saw you on TV.
Well, there you have it. I didn't know I was on TV, so.
You were up at the event, correct?
Correct.
Monday night. I watched the show. I was like looking at it, I'm like, I swear, Derek, I'm like, dude, he's there right now. I don't know. There were a lot of large bearded men. I swear it was you.
I tell you what, the Monday Night Raw a few weeks ago came to Utah during the blizzard, and we performed well. So hopefully we get more opportunities.
I saw it there. So tax time, they get too excited, but the key thing is that's what it is every single year for the rest of your life, you gotta file your taxes.
And well, that makes me think there's only two things in life that would be for certain.
Death piles.
And taxes.